Alright, so I should be live. Let me see. Guys, as always, let me know if the audio checks out. Great, so it looks like I'm in the frame. All right, I see you guys already tuning in. I cannot really tell how many people are watching. As of now, I cannot see it. Where is it written? I don't want to lose the chat. But anyway. Hi, 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗴, how are you guys? Urban VFX. Oh, Nigel, what's going on, my man? Alright, so let's wait a couple more minutes just to get a couple more people to watch this. It's beautiful. Hi Imran, how are you? Okay, great. So why don't we just get started? Come on, I think that there is already like 20 or 30 people watching this. Let's get the ball rolling. What do you guys say? So first of all, I want to say thank you for the love and the passion that you have shown for this field, sending me over 200 images. This was crazy. What happened is that I gave you guys a deadline, and unfortunately this deadline was too close to the actual live. And so there were some issues, organizational issues related to that. I'm sorry, this is my problem. I did it wrong, but now I've learned. So one thing that I've done for this new challenge is to have the deadline on Saturday. Now, what I'll do now, I'll open up Cinema 4D and I will click the render button and I will start the rendering of the object and the topic that we're going to do in the next challenge. First of all, I want to ask you, do you have already an idea of what this challenge is going to be about? Write a comment, let me know. I'm curious to see what you're thinking. We're ready. Okay, everybody's already everybody's already tell us what it is. Let's see, come on, guess. Tell me, what do you think this challenge is going to be about? Let's see if you guys can guess. Maybe a BMW car. Oh, you wanna stick with cars. Hi Alberto, great artist, Alberto Pizzetti, how are you? Hi Samir. Hi Hector, how are you? Okay, let's just render it and let's just see what this is going to be, okay? No, it's not going to be Corona, don't worry. Alright, so in the file, the model, it's called a surprise, which in my own language, in Napolitan, means a surprise, okay? Let's click the render button, let's see what happens. I wanna put the chat a little bit closer to the side. Alright, so let's click the render button. Macintosh 2020 rendering challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second instance of this fun game that we've been playing for the last week. Now, the video that I'm going to leave today, it's going to be divided in two parts. One is the announcement of the challenge itself, and I'm going to give you the rules in a second. And also I will upload the model after we're done. The second part, it's going to be me trying to make a sketch with this model so that you see what how I intend this challenge to be, all right? So first of all, the rules have changed a little bit, and that's due to technical reasons. I've made this file here. I don't know if you can see it. But don't worry, I will upload this as well. Let me see if I can change the font so that you can see it a little bit bigger. There you go. So what I'm going to ask you is to make the image using the prop model that I've given you. You have to send an email with the image to the 𝘂𝗶𝗹𝗵𝗲@gmail.com. You will get this file, so don't worry. I had to make an email on its own because I received more than 200 emails, and so this messed up completely my, my email. I need you to name the file using your name and last name. In my case, I made an example, aldozompapereta@gmail.com. It's very important that you put your name and not this aldozompapereta name, because you know, you don't really need to put the Gmail if you don't need to. This can go away, because in the past challenge I told you to name the file with the example Fabio Palvelli, and a lot of people named the file Fabio Palvelli, so I could not see who made it because you named it with my own name. You have to use your own name. The deadline this time, it's going to be sorry, this is wrong. Saturday evening at 4 o'clock London time. So essentially, you're going to be, you'll have a day less in order to make this rendering, and this will give me a little bit more time to organize with and talk to the judges and coordinate this whole thing. The winner gets $100. Now, the power of sharing these videos with other people has made it possible for other people to notice the challenge and donate money to the winners. If you're going to do this challenge and you share it online with people and you make people see that there is a challenge going on, it will only inspire others to make good and to make this challenge more interesting and better for the artists. As far as I'm concerned, these are all the rules. So make the image using the prop that I've given you. You can remodify the prop in case, you know, you just want to focus on the rendering. So you can, I don't know, you can change the design. As you can see, I did something sort of like cyberpunk or new trash, whatever. Hold on a sec. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Make an image with the props that I've given you. Send me an email with the image to this new address, which I will put in the description. Name the file using your name. In this case, I used this as an example, aldozompapereta. If your name is John Smith, use John Smith. If your name is whatever, use whatever. The deadline is on Saturday, so that we're going to have a little bit of extra time to go through all the works. And then on Sunday live, the day after, we're going to go live and we're going to review all the work online. And the winner gets $100. If more sponsorships come my way, I will put this money into the final prize so that you guys can get a little bit more money. So the deadline, oh, shit. Sorry, I made a mistake. Thank you for pointing it out. Yes, the live show is on Sunday. Oh, my God. And so the deadline is on Saturday, the 11th of April, 2020 at 5 London time. The live show is on Sunday evening at 4 o'clock London time. Don't worry, I'll put this text online. You'll be able to read the rules. If somebody asks you to give them the model so that they can also do the challenge, please forward also the text rules, because as you can see, it's very easy to make mistakes and to get confused. All right. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, the rules and everything. I'm going to upload the model at the end of this live show. Now I'm going to show you how I have used the prop that I've created to put inside of a scene that I've designed. Little disclaimer, this prop, actually, it's a very old prop that I found in my archive. I don't think I modeled it myself, but I've heavily modified it. It's a very old model. It was done in version 11, so I could not read it in version 21 because I'm working with 21, so somebody had to convert it. I'm just saying this because if you get it, don't use it commercially. Just keep it for this challenge alone, okay? I'm going to stop the rendering. So guys, this is everything in terms of challenge. Now I'm going to spend a little bit of time showing you the rendering that I've actually made as an entry to the challenge, but also as a way for you to understand how much of the rules you can break. One of the questions that I was getting very often during this past week was, can we make an animation? Yes, of course you can make an animation, but you should also be able to send me a couple of good frames that we can evaluate, because not everybody's capable to make an animation. Obviously, if you make a good frame and there is also good animation to support it, I will make the judges consider that, as we did yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, go wild, have fun. This is the point of doing these challenges. Quite a few people got in touch with me angry because I did not pick their designs or because their designs were not discussed. I'm doing my best to make this quarantine time a little bit more interesting. With the time, we're going to figure out more things. We're going to hopefully get better. Give me a little bit of slack. We'll do this together. You'll give me feedback and we'll try to make the best rendering competition out there. All right? So I'm now going to open my own file so that you can see how I have elaborated this situation. So let me open the control room. Now, I don't know if my friend Thomas Dubois is watching, but I have definitely not copied this rendering from Thomas. I apologize. This is a total ripoff of the work that Thomas does. But basically what I thought to do was creating sort of like a control room with the Macintosh being in the center of the attention, if you like, and a bunch of other like techie looky elements. These are all like props from 𝘊𝗶𝗵𝗃 and all these models I found on either ArtStation. They were really cheap, like maybe $10, or these are collections from 𝘊𝗶𝗵𝗃. Great models, and they help you speeding up your work. I've used very simple textures. Actually, I think that the only real texture that I made using a concrete, working with this new plugin. Shout out to the guys from 𝘊𝗶𝗵𝗃 for sending me the plugin. Let me just show you how this plugin works because it's amazing. I'm going to make a little bit more videos about this plugin. But basically, let's say that you create a plane. I'll move this plane out here. And I create a material, say like a concrete. Corona, new material. This is really good. Then I go to plugin, soft patch. This plugin basically allows you to create seamless textures with only one click. Load image. So say that I want to use this image. This image is tiles. Actually, let me choose a more tiling image. Let me see. Let me go inside textures. Let me use, I don't know, what can I use? Let me find a better texture for this experiment. So let me use a concrete. Let me use a texture that it's, clearly not tileable. No, I don't want to save it. Put this texture inside, drop it inside the material. And what this does, it creates automatic patches which allow you to create this randomization and have sort of like infinite repetitions without seeing the sim. And it's embedded in Cinema 4D. So if you're a Cinema 4D user, this is of great help. The model that I've created is extremely easy setup. It's very simple materials. Let me open the concrete material. As you can see, I've used a simple diffuse, reflection, and a little bit of bump and displacement. There is nothing to it. Let me render it. Why am I showing you these things? Because I want you to understand that, you know, in the work that I do, hold on a sec, there is really nothing like, what do you call it, like anything complicated. It's actually very simple workflow. Okay, this is going to take a second to render. Let's see. Hi guys, the Mr. Volgaman, can you make more than one style picture? Yeah, of course. You can enter with as many pictures as you want. The only thing is that when you send them to me, send them numbered so that I don't overwrite the images. Mario, the plugin, it's called 𝘀𝗶𝗹𝗹 and it's from a company called 𝘀𝗶𝗃. It's the company where I used to work. It's the last company where I used to work. And we're very good friends, and they still pamper me with all these things to try and test. It's a very good plugin, I have to say. I'm going to make more videos about this plugin because it's really powerful. I don't want to say that it's as powerful as, say, Substance Designer, but if you don't want to do any Substance Designer, this can get you already very far with the presets that are inside. There are tiling systems, there are randomization systems, seam system, mortar system. It's an incredible plugin. My pleasure, man. Hi, Patrick. Okay, so this is the rendering that I'm working on. As you can see, the rendering, it's very much like, you know, you could tell that the Macintosh, it's actually not the center of the focus. Probably the center is the shark that you see in the water. But I thought to show you this simply because you might say, okay, do you want us to work only on the model, or can we use the model as a prop? I would say take that model, put it everywhere you like. Like another idea that I had was to replace, say, the console of an old car with this computer so that when you drive it, you actually have sort of like a Tesla with an old looking computer. Go crazy, go nuts, do whatever you want, just make something awesome. Surprise me, because I want to go like, whoa. Hi Thomas, how are you? As you can see, I really did not steal this project from you. Okay, let me just stop it because this will take a while to render. I've already rendered the version. Actually, to be honest with you, putting this model together, it only took me a couple of hours. What it took me a little bit longer was tuning the lights, and that's it. And then I did a very quick round of post-production. Let's do this together. I'm going to open Fabio Arts and Farts, the rendering that I made. And let's see where it is. The control room, there you go. Now, I don't know, I'm a sucker for all the work that Thomas does, and so, you know, I like the color palette of this image. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to act with some adjustment layers to sort of like create a little bit of a more contrasty image so that I can drive the attention of the viewer towards a specific object. In this case, the reason why I put the shark in the middle with the computer, it's because I kind of want to balance the two together. The colors are not very well balanced. Like, I fear that the light of the television should be either a little bit more blurry, or I don't know, there's something that doesn't work. But anyway, we'll do the fixing together. So I'm gonna create an adjustment layer, and the first thing that I like to do is to work with the contrast. And so I'm just gonna make this slightly more contrasty, as you can see. All right, then what I'll do next, I think that the image is a little bit too blue, so I'm going to work a little bit of hue and saturation. Maybe make it a few points, 2 points more white, and maybe a little less saturated than this. Still very saturated, but it's okay. I'm gonna go for it. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a little bit more vignetting, because at the moment, as you can see, the light, it's distributed almost like homogeneous around all the edges. So to do that, I'm gonna create another control layer with the exposure. I'm going to lower the exposure, actually quite a bit. I'm going to invert this layer, and I'm going to paint with a very soft brush, maybe like 20% more or less white. I'm going to paint little bits of like darkness on the sides. And I do this in a very irregular way, because usually, you know, the vignetting, it's also a result of like how clean your lens is. And so have it a little bit more irregular. There you go. Nice. A little bit more. And so you see already the difference, right? Now I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm going to work on the highlights. So I'll do the same exposure, make the image a little bit more overexposed, invert the mask, and then I'm gonna just like brighten up the lights areas here. And I do that, you know, I try not to give the same brightness everywhere, because in theory the lights are never the same, you know. And so I'm gonna make this a little bit more bright, this too a little bit more bright, and I might have to adjust the exposure a little bit. Let's see. Good. And then maybe one other thing that I'm going to do, it's going to be only for like the water, because, you know, in this case, if there is water coming down, the part on top should be a little bit more brighter if there is light coming down. So I'm gonna make another exposure layer, raise it a little bit, and then I'm going to invert the mask, and then paint a little bit of light coming down from this area. And then I'm going to paint away the light from maybe just the bottom of the shark, so that you have a little bit of reflection on top. There we go. I'm doing this with the mouse. My XP pen, it's retired on the other side. Good. And then maybe the other thing that I'm going to do is add one more layer and just brush a little bit of like white. A little bit here and there. In this case, I'm going to simply copy this mask to this layer. Maybe make this layer a little bit more soft. Need to mask this a little bit better. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. Yes. And maybe just paint a little bit more highlight down there. Oops. There you go. The TV, it's bothering me a little bit because it's too bright and it should not be that bright. But anyway, this would be like my entry. And again, the reason why I'm showing you this, it's because I want you to understand, in this case, I took the prop and I made the prop part of an interior view, if you like. I'm gonna probably spend a little bit more time working on the post-production of this element. Probably there is a couple of more things that I could do to make this image look a lot better. This is still not good enough. But anyway, this is everything, guys. I want to know if there are any questions. Otherwise, I'm just gonna upload the files and declare this contest officially open. Okay, so there is, if I send you 3 renders, yes, we will, okay. So the idea is that if you send multiple images, we're going, yes, I need to protect those highlights. We're going as judges to pick the best one. Meaning, it's not really fair towards other people to to sort of like compete with more images. You can still send me more images. We're going to pick the best one. So, you know, in a way, if you send more images, you have a better chance for you to win, because we're gonna try and pick the best image that you can send. That's it. If you guys have any more questions, I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes here. When we stop the live, I'm going to upload the files, and that's it, and we'll see. Now, it's okay, you know, people want to send more than 3 images. Sometimes they want to send 5. You know, my guess is, if you think that quantity can outdo quality, it's not a smart thing, I think. It's probably best to focus on a very good image, because in the case of like the work that has won in the past challenge, 2 were single images. Nuno has sent more images, but actually I think that probably he would have won even only with a single image. Obviously, the other images supported the case that what he did was a great job, but eventually that single image with the comic and everything, he would have probably won anyway. Okay, I see no questions coming in. So guys, I'm very excited about this new challenge. I can't wait to upload the files, give them to you, and please share this video, make some people jump on board with this challenge. The more, the better. Next week, I'm going to have, I don't know who I'm going to have on the channel judging the next competition. Jason and Mike and we had a great time. Let's see if they're up for it again. Otherwise, we'll see, but I guarantee you it's going to be fun. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to stop the stream, and I will see you in a week.